Good evening, folks. Welcome to Dingwall. Ahead of, just as I was sort of speaking, that music's gone on, so hopefully you can hear me. Do let me know in the comment section. We're in Dingwall ahead of Rangers versus Ross County in the Scottish Premiership. The last game, of course, before Christmas Day. It's the 23rd. Rangers coming into the game on the back of 3-2 victories as they look to continue their 100% record under Michael Beale in the Scottish Premiership. Obviously, they beat Hibs 3-2 in his first competitive game, came from behind 2-1 on that day, and then against Aberdeen on Tuesday night, just 3 days ago, they did the same with obviously those two fantastic late strikes from Scott Arfield. I'll read you the team news just in case you haven't heard it, and then give a little bit of a reaction to it as well. Terry's there saying, do you have a Ross County lineup? Not yet. The Rangers one was slightly early, so hopefully that will drop while we are on at the moment. Luke saying, is it warm? It's actually not as cold as you would think, Luke. Certainly not as cold as it was against Hibs last Thursday night, but it's not warm. Definitely not warm. Start in goal, with the news that John McLaughlin plays for the league in the first time, I think, since that game against Celtic at Parkhead, that Old Firm game where he had such a difficult time. There's no Alan McGregor in the squad whatsoever. We'll seek some clarity on that after the game, but I presume that's maybe just a result of so many fixtures in such a short space of time. He plays in front of a relatively strong back four. It's James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, Ben Davies and Adam Devine. So Rangers play Goldson and Davies together. It's a rare occasion. It has been a rare occasion in the league this season. Obviously, Ben Davies was brought in to be Connor Goldson's long-term partner. Both of them have really suffered with injury in the early part of the season, so Michael Beale will hope this is the first of many games that they can play together and they can form a strong partnership. I thought when Ben Davies came off the bench in midweek, Rangers looked a little bit more solid. He had that nice balance with his left foot as well, and Adam Devine continues at left back. Glenn Kamara and John Lundstrom, both of whom have had their own injury issues. Michael Beale was speaking about Kamara having to play through an injury that they're managing at the moment, and Lundstrom taking an injection before the game against Aberdeen on Tuesday. He did go on to say that if everyone who has a knock wasn't able to play, then Rangers wouldn't be able to field a team. I guess that's kind of in keeping with a lot of different football clubs. Players do play through injuries, but it was certainly notable the injury update that Michael Beale gave at the press conference yesterday. Ahead of them is Arfield, Tillman, Kent and Fashion Jr. We know as well that Morelos has been suffering a little bit. He had to stop training the day before the game against Aberdeen on the Monday. He drops to the bench. Fashion Sakala, you'd imagine, will lead the line in behind them. I'd imagine Arfield's in the midfield three. I think he's more accustomed to the kind of pressing work, the defensive work that Beale wants off the ball from his outside centre midfielders. Maybe that gives Tillman a little bit more freedom, which would suit him, and Kent as well should be afforded some freedom as well. The bench reads McCrory, Jack, Matondo, Sands, Morelos, Wright, McCann, King and Alex Lowry as well. Obviously someone who there's been a lot of discussion about when he'll get his chance recently, in particular with these games in such quick succession that he starts on the bench tonight. Lots of people getting in touch as well already. Terry saying it will be Sakala with three behind him. Yeah, I certainly think there'll be flexibility in behind Sakala as a central striker. I'd imagine that Arfield out of possession is the one that drops into form in midfield three, but maybe it'll be a midfield two and a front three. I don't think Beale on the ball will be as concerned about. He'll want to give these players freedom anyway, so I don't think there's a point in trying to necessarily predict exactly where they'll play, because you saw with Ryan Kent against Aberdeen, he kind of pops up and can receive the ball in all different areas. Rangers don't have Alfredo Morelos, who hasn't been at his best for me in recent games. Fashion Sakala scored 2 goals in 2 games, and we'll be hoping to continue his good form in front of goal tonight. Graham saying we need to make sure our intentions are clear for the season tonight. Yeah, I mean, Rangers win against Aberdeen really matters for little if they can't come and do the business here. This was the scene of, not the beginning of the end for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, but it was really where his domestic issues started here in January, and Rangers conceded a late goal. It's not an easy place to come. Michael Beale's made changes, you'd imagine, out of necessity as much as anything, given that his squad have had those 2 long journeys and had to play 2 games in such quick succession. He won't underestimate the task that Rangers have tonight in Ross County. They need another 3 points, absolutely non-negotiable, given where they are in the table. Scott's saying it's a fresh breeze up there. Again, it is cold, Scott. It could be colder, and it probably will get colder, but at the moment I'm surviving. I'm okay at the moment. Jake saying, Neil sent it that Tillman can play number 9. Surely it's Sakala and Kent in the 10s. I'd be surprised if Tillman's the highest player. He might well be, but again, my guess would be that Tillman and Kent will both have a lot of freedom. Sakala has it's something that we've discussed a lot on the podcast in the last few days. Although Sakala and Morels have kind of been your two central strikers, there's been times where they've been receiving the ball off either wing in transition. They've not been set, they've not had to stay in specific locations. And Kent, the perfect example, came at the second goal, the equalising goal against Aberdeen, where he's out in the left wing for periods of that game. Then he received the ball inside the pitch and is able to drive at his man, take the shot with Scott Arfield. Scores from Arfield, who I think it's a very definition of an impact substitute performance against Aberdeen on Tuesday night. He gets his place in the team. Again, if Rangers can play the game in and around the opposition box, you'd imagine that'll suit him with his late runs that were so effective against Aberdeen in and around the penalty box on Tuesday night, alongside Malik Tillman and Ryan Kent as well. Blue Note saying decent sound system it is. Hope you can hear me, but we'll just have a couple more minutes before we wrap up and look forward to the game tonight, which is a 7:30 kickoff. It's been an 8 o'clock kickoff in recent weeks. I thought it was 7:45, but it is 7 o'clock. And I'll just give you a reminder of the Rangers team before we wrap up. If you're just tuning in, it's John McLaughlin in goals, back forward James Tavernier, Conor Goldson, Ben Davies and Adam Devine. Glenn Kamara and John Lundstrom, the two midfielders, with Scott Arfield, Malik Tillman and Ryan Kent in behind Flash and Sakala. You can keep up to date with the game on our Twitter feed. We'll be live after the game as well. We'll have all the press conference reactions, so do keep in touch with us over on the website and our socials. Enjoy the game, and we'll speak to you at full time.